and welcome back to another episode of the Bachelor Sims 4 edition. We are doing hometowns. This is our second hometown date. We are in Nordhaven, meeting Mia's family this week, and here we are. So for Mia's family, she has a single mom, so she doesn't have, there's no dad in the picture, but Tyler will be meeting her mom, Brandy, her sister, Chloe, and their dog, Gunner. They've decided to have lunch with her family, so Brandy and the girls have already made some food, but he was doing a little grilling as well. I think he's trying to make a good first impression. And Mia's kind of teasing him a little bit about it. You know, we didn't bring you here to cook. You're here as our guest. You're here to meet my family. And he already has his eye on the cotton candy. The girls made cotton candy, and he wants to get one of those. But Mia is happy to have him here. Obviously, their relationship was really high for a while, a couple of weeks ago. But then when there was drama in Sulani, their relationship took a hit, and then their relationship took another hit last week when Mia also had a bit of a jealous meltdown, a little bit like Athena, not as bad. Athena and Jasmine definitely took it harder, but um, Athena also, or Mia also didn't have the best reaction to Tyler finally getting closer to Hannah. And when she saw Hannah kiss him, she didn't like it. So, yeah, they have had some ups and downs in their relationship, but he finds Mia just really easy to be with, aside from maybe her flirtatious personality is a little bit much for him. And it's obviously not to say that she should change for him or anything like that, but he's trying to find the right match for himself and someone that he can see living life with. And while he and Mia get on really well, and he thinks that Mia is really sweet, and here she is being being really sweet as I say that, but he's just worried about their compatibility, and he knows himself is pretty much what it is. Like, he knows that this is who Mia is. Like, she has a very like friendly, flirty kind of way about her and personality. She's just like a fun girl to be around, and and obviously everybody like everybody in the house, they could like hardly help flirting with her. But and also her, she's very playful and flirty, and that does bother him whenever she's playful and flirty with Athena or whatever. Okay, so everybody is sitting down to have a little lunch here. Well, Chloe, it looks like Chloe is going to grab a cotton candy, and I believe she is going to, yeah, she is going to head right back outside. So Chloe is not being the most social, but he and her mom are getting along pretty well. He has been very flattering and complimentary to her mom, and she likes that. So she is talking to him now, and she's kind of teasing Mia, and she's like, "So, do you think you're gonna win his heart? The way to his heart's to his stomach, huh? We have all this food here." And he's joking, or he's laughing, joking around with her as well. And yeah, everybody's getting along really well. It's been pretty much just really easygoing in terms of, well, him and her mom. Obviously, Chloe has decided not to really participate very much. Chloe has kind of just stayed out back. But Mia is feeling a little ill as well. I swear, there's something going around the house. He must be passing the germs to all the girls. And but yeah, she just has a little headache. I probably should have got her some medicine, but I did not do that. Okay, so now the girls are all gonna have a little chat, just a little family meeting. These are the ones kind of like on the show where everybody kind of sits on the couch and they talk about their relationship and their struggles with you know, the unique struggles of the Bachelor situation. So Chloe left. Mia went to get her sister. She's like, "Hey, come on, come back. I know that you don't really, that you think all this is kind of BS, but can can you please give it a chance? I really like this guy, and, just come on. Can you give it a chance for me? And so Chloe has come back, and she's gonna sit down over here, and she's gonna finally, hopefully, talk to him a little bit and get to know him. Mia's mom was asking about, how is it in the house? How is it living with all those other girls? And how is it, living with all those other girls that are dating the same guy? She kind of made a joke that, she's also had other girls dating her guy whenever in the past, but she didn't know about it, and so she didn't appreciate it. But Mia and Tyler are having a nice time, and Mia's talking to her mom. She's reassuring her. She's like, we have our little fights and our little tiffs, and honestly, this last week has been the hardest, but for the most part, we got along, and I really made some good friends. I actually came instant best friends with one of the other girls there, but her mom has lost interest in that a little bit, and she's talking to Chloe, and she's kind of like, you don't go there to make friends, you go there to win the guy. And Mia Mia's like, yeah, okay, but she doesn't want to argue about it, obviously. That's not how she feels. She went into this eager to make friends, and she was very friendly from the get-go. She was even open to, flirting with the other girls. She was like, hey, if I don't end up with him, maybe I'll end up with one of them. Who knows? But now they're just talking, and Chloe is telling her mom that she could never do a situation like that, like a dating situation like this. It's too messy. She's not into it. And her mom is talking about all of the things they get to do. Like, oh, she probably is just enjoying the show because she gets to travel around the world and see all these places, and they're over here kind of talking down a little bit about the experience. Meanwhile, Mia and Tyler over there having a great time. And Tyler's trying to explain. He's like, I know it sounds kind of crazy. It probably sounds worse than it is. But honestly, when you're in this process and you're forming these relationships with these people, it's not as strange as you would think it is. He's like, going into this, I didn't think that I would be able to have feelings for multiple girls at once. I just didn't really think that it would go that way because that's not, I've never experienced something like that in my dating life. But you really do form special, sort of, it's possible to fall for these girls more than one at a time, and that's kind of an uncomfortable thing, but yeah, you can form real relationships and real attachments and real connections, and I'm just trying to explore all of them so that I can find the one that is the best for me. And somewhere in there, Mia's mom did come on to him, but we kind of ignored that a little bit. So it's on brand for her. She's not the most responsible or even motherly mother. She had Mia when she was quite young, and yeah, so they had to do a little bit of growing up together. And her mom, again, a little bit flaky. She's not always, especially when it comes to guys. It's not the best example. But so he was talking to them, and that also, she's pretty easy to get along with. So he has made a good impression on her mom, and her sister is sort of reluctantly, her sister's not all the way on board, but she's okay with it. And so now Mia wanted to bring Tyler over here because her family, they have a business in Nordhaven, and they have sort of a little art studio, and then upstairs there is actually a tattoo studio. And this is sort of a little known fact that she shared with him on this date is well, she hasn't shared it yet, but she will share a little bit later. She will share about that. So, but anyway, so right now they are in the pottery portion, and she said, you know what, I think it'd be fun if we made some pottery together. And so they're doing that right now. They're getting a little artsy, and Gunner's coming here. Gunner came in just to see what everybody was doing, and he left. And her mom is kind of pulling a slick move here. She's coming in to clean up the dishes, and she's like, "Oh, don't mind me." But she's really kind of trying to overhear what's going on and what they're talking about, how things are going now that they're not, kind of trying to make a good impression and performing for her. And Mia she is kind of feeling it like now that she's introduced him to her parents, that's not something that she does. Like, she doesn't bring guys home to meet her family very often. So this has kind of made it a little bit more real for her. And she wants to talk over her relationship fears with Tyler because she knows that obviously he has gotten upset with her more than he's gotten upset at any of the other girls. And so she knows that while they have a nice, friendly, great connection, they are there are challenges and there are differences. So she wants to make sure the same as him. She wants to make sure that they're really compatible and they're really good together. And so she wants to talk over her relationship fears. She wants to talk to him about like issues they've had in the past that made her question their compatibility a little bit. Because like there was a double 2-on-1 date that she went on with him and Mallory. And that night she was kind of over it. She wasn't enjoying her date with him. She wasn't enjoying having to kind of apologize for the way that she is and the things that she does. She wants to find someone who fits her as well, and she wants to make sure that if it's him and her at the end, that they will be compatible because they both want the same things. If this is going to work out, they both want this to end in marriage. They both want to start a family. And she wants to make sure that it's going to be a healthy relationship and it's going to be a happy family. She wants to make sure that he finds her quirks, endearing and that there's something that he enjoys about her. And she's a little worried, she's like, "So if I'm joking around with a pretty waitress, are you gonna like freak out, even if we're married?" And he's like, "Well, no, it's different when it's Athena." And actually, it's funny because he's over here. He has this little hot daydreaming thing while he was cleaning up the area over there where they were doing the pottery. He was actually daydreaming about Athena. So that kind of plays into it a little as well. And so Mia's kind of like, I know we both care about Athena, but do we care about each other more than Athena? I she has a little, she's flirty, but she's not like, when she's in a relationship, she's loyal. And she's kind of thinking, I don't know, she's not completely sure if they have that compatibility, and he has the same issue. So they're really on the same page, and they're kind of trying to figure that out. But they're spending plenty of time together today. And she did make the joke. I kind of missed it back there. Because I was talking about their relationship issues. But she had made a joke and she had told him, little known fact about her is that she and her sister Chloe actually work at the tattoo parlor upstairs. So it's not Mia's full-time job, but one gig that she has done while she's been living with her mom and her sister while she's younger, and they were all sort of developing the studio and building the business together, all three girls. One of the things that Mia discovered was she's actually a decent tattoo artist. So uh, she was joking around and she's like, "You should let me give you a tattoo while you're here." And he was like, you know, "Maybe, but I'm going to need to have a couple drinks in me if we're going to consider that." So they actually did. They left the pottery studio, they left her mom's place for now, and they decided to go out and have a little drink. The meet the family portion of their date is kind of over. They've already met the family, but they weren't planning to get to their date part because their actual date for Nordhaven, they're going to go out to dinner. But she wanted to show them around her where she grew up and the business that she helped her mom build, that she and her sister helped build. So they wanted to do the little pottery, and she's joking that, she should give him a tattoo. And then they went to this little local bar. It's just like right down the street from where her mom lives. And they're having a little drink, and Mia is talking to him about their future. And she's asking, if it's us at the end of this, what are we going to do? Like, would you want me to move in with you? Would you move to Nordhaven, where I live? And he's like, that's a good question. That is something we will definitely have to figure out. But for right now, Mia is taking him up to the tattoo studio that she and her sister have worked in. They have had a little bit of nectar, a little bit to drink, and she's like, listen, I only had one glass. I'm fine. I swear, let's do this. I want to give you a tattoo. That way, no matter what happens, you will always have something to remember me by. And he's like, there is a tattoo that I wouldn't mind getting, something to remind me of all the experience that we had on the show and my journey to find love. So, hey, you know what? All right, let's do it. And so he is going to let her give him a tattoo. And I'm wondering what the other girls are going to think about that. But now we are going to go in and see. So this is the tattoo that we're going to give him. We're going to give him a little rose tattoo to remind him all of his life when he was the Bachelor. And since he is determined to meet his wife one way or the other, whether it's Mia, whether it's Jasmine or Athena, whichever girl he ends up with, the rose is symbolic of his journey to meet his wife, the love of his life. So he got his little rose tattoo, and now he is over here thanking Mia, telling her that she did a great job, and thanking her for the tattoo and the memory, and telling her, even without the tattoo, you have to know I'd never forget you. And now they're having a romantic little moment, being all cute. And yeah, so now they have pretty much explored her house and they've met her family, and he's telling her, thank you so much for, this wonderful day, for planning this day and showing me around your home and introducing me to your family, and the tattoo and the pottery, just everything. You've really opened up. You've really let me in, and even exposing her vulnerabilities, talking to him about her relationship fears, about their compatibility and the flirting and all that. He really appreciates that because it lets him know that she is taking this seriously, and that is kind of his concern whenever the flirting happens. He does worry a little bit about, are you in this as much as I am? Are you taking this seriously? Do you want to get married? Do you want a wedding at the end of this? Do you want to start a family? And he has pretty much been convinced. He's said, you know what? You do. You and I, things are good. And I just wanted to let you know, you don't have to worry about getting a rose this week. I really care about you. I really want to take you home to meet my family. And he went and actually asked her to be his girlfriend. So Mia is officially going to be one of the final two girls and is just down to Jasmine and Athena now. So now they are at their official Nordhaven date. They're having a little kiss, and oh my gosh, Leah's mom is here again. I swear she is stalking this man. Whenever he was on his date with Hannah, we ran into Leah's mom at the hotel bar, and now here she is again, but she's inside now. But anyway, so he and Mia are here, and he told her, oh, our table's ready, and Mia, playful, cute, flirty Mia, is just like, okay, let me just have one little kiss to hold me over. And now they are heading inside. In the absolute randomness of Sims, his father was right there going into the restaurant with him, but we are going to tell him to just go away because it is not time for Mia to meet his parents yet, and also they should not be in Nordhaven because they live in Willow Creek. Okay, so now we have the finest table in the place for our bachelor and bachelorette. And they are going to have a little food. He is getting a little sleepy, so we are going to get him some coffee, and we are going to get her some lemonade, and then they are going to have some waffles. Nordhaven has a really popular local breakfast scene, and they have Nordhaven famous waffles at this restaurant. So they are going to have their delicious waffles, kind of like Belgian waffles, I guess, in real life. They're going to have their little waffle dinner, and if he would ever like to sit down, that would be just lovely. It looks like the waiter is here with their food. There is no food. Okay, we had a last exception, so I think maybe he was going to bring their food over, and then something happened. So I guess they're not going to get their food yet, but that's okay. It gives them a little time to talk and flirt and just have a great time. And so he wanted to revisit their conversation about where they would live if they are the end game here. And he says, what I would really like to do, I have to stay local to the law offices because Tyler is a lawyer. He's like, I have to live somewhere where my firm has offices, but we do have offices in several locations, and I could transfer if that was something we wanted to do. He's like, I'm focused on building a life with my wife. I want to have children. I want to start a family, and he's like, if you don't want to live in Willow Creek, that's where I'm from, and if I didn't want to live in Nordhaven, what would you think about us moving somewhere, kind of meeting in the middle, and moving somewhere new to both of us, and starting our life over there? And she was like, I think that sounds like kind of a nice compromise. It would be somewhere we would both fall in love with, somewhere we would both like, and we would sort of create our own family instead of just staying in the place where we were born, the place that our family chose. I kind of like the idea of choosing our own place in the world. And they are having the worst luck with servers. So now the server finally brought out their food again, and he just spilled it everywhere. It is all over the floor now. So they are going to have to wait a little bit longer for their food. I hope nobody's starving over here. Tyler, it looks like he is just getting really tired. They've had a long, busy day, and he had a late night last night as well, and he got up really early, and yeah. So, he did visit Jasmine, in her hometown, and then he flew straight here to see Mia. So he is probably a little bit jet lagged as well. But they have finally gotten some food. So he can drink his coffee, drink it with desperation, my dear. And they are having a lovely little date. Mia is happy. She's like, this is great. And he said, I have had such a nice time with you. I would really like, if you're open to it, I would like for us to stay together in the fantasy suite, and that way we will have a little more one-on-one time, and we can sort of get to know each other the rest of the way. Anything else that we need to know to make our decision about if it's going to be us at the end of this, tonight's the night, So, and she said yes, she is game. She's like, I would love that. I agree. We do need to figure this out, and I want to see, the extent of our connection. I want to see how compatible we are. So now they have finished dinner, and he is giving her a steamy little kiss here. He has brought her to the Love Motel. I introduced this one a couple episodes ago. Karen and Connie are builders here on YouTube, and they made this hotel. It is where he brought Jasmine to his one-on-one date, his now infamous one-on-one date with Jasmine. They will not be staying in the same room, but this is a nice little hotel, and it is in Newcrest. And Newcrest is a nice little town. And he's kind of thinking, we were talking about maybe relocating to somewhere central, and Newcrest would be a good option. It's kind of an up and coming town. It's central between both of their hometowns, so that it wouldn't be too far to visit either of their families. And there's a lot of residential, kind of suburban area. So he and Mia are finally heading to their fantasy suite date. They changed into something a little more comfortable, and he is exhausted. And she's like, hey, you have been dying to get to bed all night. You think you can stay up a little bit later? She's like, let's go to bed. Let's go to sleep. And he's like, well, I hope we're not going straight to sleep. And they are not, in fact, going straight to sleep. They are going to get a little woohoo in here, and then he is exhausted, so they probably won't stay up and talk tonight, but they're probably going to go straight to sleep and just kind of spend their first night together. They've not ever had anything like an overnight date, and when they wake up in the morning, they can get some breakfast in the hotel lobby and have a little chat then if they need to. But I think they have pretty much gotten the answers to all of their questions at this point. Obviously, he was confident enough to tell her that she's, to ask her to be his girlfriend, and he kind of jumped the gun a little bit there. He was like, I don't even want you to worry about the rose ceremony. Like, I know that I want you to meet my family. And then now they've had their little woohoo. So as long as the physical part of the relationship is good, and it has been up till now, they've always been very kissy and affectionate, and so I don't think there's really any. They have a lot of compatibility, and they have this little pocket of time here to answer any of the remaining questions, to really dig deep. And she was kind of joking. She's like, come to bed. And he's kind of embarrassed because he just completely passed out. But now here they are, and they're going to have a little sleep and a little cuddle. And yeah, that is it for their date. So I will see you next time for our final hometown. It will be Athena's hometown date in San Sequoia. Thanks for watching.